Okay, my tubies, we back for some more sealed action. The coming days of the Arena Open. So you know the deal. We'll open some 6-packs, build our deck, go from there. Ooh, we opened a couple of very nice cards. Any Planeswalkers usually getting pretty solid in a limited environment. Reality Chip is just an insane future sight. Biting Palm Ninja, very, very effective. 3-mana 3/3 with a bunch of nice abilities. Fable of the Mirror Breaker, fantastic individual win con. And even the Surge Hacker mech is not too bad as like a weird Flame Tongue Kabu-esque type vehicle. Alright, you know the deal by now if you've been watching the last few days. I just pull out every playable card in an individual color, and then we build our deck from there. So anything I deem playable goes. 2 Krabby Patties. 3 Okiba Reckoner Raids. Oh wow, our black looks very strong. 3 raids. Torment. Life of Toshiro. Ninja. Ink, and 2 Embraces. That's a lot of good removal. Red, on the other hand, does not look very good except for the Fable. I mean, I can see some very, very aggressive red cards. 2 Synthesizers, Kumano, Ronin, 2 Ogres, but that is normally not what I want to be doing in Sealed. So let's probably skip the red for now. Maybe we'll splash the Fable. Green has some Archers, Rebuke. Alright, green has some good cards. Ooh, only 1 dual land is pretty bad. 3 Kunais. Circuit Mender's good. Steward can be good. We have the double Embrace at the minimum for the Steward. Something like that. Alright, let's pull from this. Take a peek. Yeah, I don't think we'll be playing any amount of red beyond the Fable if we do even end up running that. Okay, let's go color by color. What do we got here? The white has a Samurai, 2 Interventions, a Slash, an Arrest. So white has some good removal, and at the top end, an Imperial Oath. Never been a huge fan of these Mentors, but let's take a look at what leaving the white removal and top end spells looks like. Blue is actually really, really bad. Wow. Besides the Tezzeret and the Reality Chip, blue is actually awful. And I don't really have the fixing to make it a thing. I've got double Tanuki. I have, once again, no Terrarium. No Network Terminals. No Grafted Growth. Wow. So if I am going to play blue, my guess is that I'm going to be splashing Reality Chip, but not even running the Tezzeret. Pretty sad news there. Yeah, blue looks to be a cut. Okay. And this happens sometimes, you know? 2 of my strongest cards that I opened are in blue, and blue is just not playable otherwise. Let's take another look one more time. And sometimes it's correct to still just run your most powerful cards, even if their secondary support's not worth it. I don't think that's going to be the case in this scenario. I think our standalone black is just way too good. And now the question is going to be what pairs best with the black. So what does green actually have for it, going for it at the end of the day? Spinning Wheel Kick and 2 Tanukis. If we had some of the Enchantment Matters cards, like the Bamboo Grove Archers would actually be pretty darn good, but it doesn't look like the green is actually all that great here at the end of the day. I think it's just the Spinning Wheel Kick that would draw me to it. So now maybe this is kind of shaving down. Swiftwater Cliff's looking pretty bad. Yeah, like I said, I don't think I'm going to end up splashing the blue cards here. That's really, really unfortunate, but you got to do what you got to do. How good is the construct? How many ways do I have to discard? Let's take a look. And it's just the Fable of the Mirror Breaker, so looks like our discard effects are too weak for the construct, even though it is an artifact for Naomi. Shrine Steward looks fantastic. We have the Double Embrace and the Arrest. Looks like we can probably end up cutting this Lethal Exploit. We already have really, really good removal. And this would just be the worst of it. We could probably run one exploit over like one intervention. We probably don't need the Already Dead as well. So is it going to be worth it to splash the Fable of the Mirror Breaker then? It's another question we have to ask ourselves. Probably not. We don't have any good fixing, so my guess is I'm probably supposed to cut like the splash colors and some of the weaker removal. Still get in the Sky Blessed Samurai as an extra good win con. Enchantment count is 10, artifact count is 4. So we could find another artifact to play to maybe help out the Naomi. That would be good. But this looks like a really, really nice black-white deck here. Yeah, I mean, we don't even need this Already Dead. We have so much removal as it is. This almost looks like a draft deck. And if you have a deck that looks like a draft deck and sealed, you're going to have a good time. This is nice. Just need to find like one more playable here. I'm not sure which one I want. Could it actually be like the Automated Artificer here? I don't think so. We don't have enough artifacts. Wish I had like one more good artifact to play. I don't think Colossus is what we want. I don't think it's the Flyer. How many ninjutsu do I have? Just the Biting Palm. Oh, I guess I have the Nezumi as well. Man, if we had a few more good blue cards, I would just run blue-black here, but yeah, I think white makes the most sense. I want to get like one more creature in if I can. I guess it's just going to be like the Seven-Tail Mentor. I don't think we have enough warriors / samurai. That's probably okay. Yeah, I'm not thrilled with it, but it's fine. Okay. Yeah, this just looks like a really, really nice black-white deck. I'm not even sure I want 17 lands, but I think we'll go ahead and run 17. And this looks like to be a pretty easy heavy on black and a little bit lower on the white. Could even run 10-7, I think. Given how we have 3 black 1-drops and a bunch of double black. But I think an even split is probably fine. Creature count is 9, 10... 11, 12, 13, 14. I mean, I could probably even just run like this Imperial Subduer over the Clawing Torment if I really wanted. Or even the Rise Infiltrator doesn't seem completely awful. Because I don't think we need the Clawing Torment. We have 2 interventions, a Slash, a Life of Toshiro, an Arrest, an Ink, 2 Embraces, and the Shooting from the Hacker. So yeah, I feel like we'd almost rather just get a random creature in. And maybe the 2-1's worth it. It's not going to have any discard synergy, but it's going to be a 2-power 2-1. And it turns on Naomi a little bit easier. That seems weak, but I think it might be correct. All right, let's do that. Oh, it also turns on banishing slash, so yeah. Extra merit to running an extra artifact there. Yeah, this deck just looks fantastic. I would be very surprised if it didn't get to 7 wins. Pretty good curve, excellent removal, solid creatures, and just 2 color. So this is one of the pools that kind of built itself. I think, again, you could probably try to run blue. Tezzeret and Reality Chip especially are more or less bombs. But I think the black-white here has more synergy, and at the end of the day, gonna be a little bit better together. This hand is not very good. I don't think you mulligan, but... yeah, this is not the hand we are looking for. Too much removal and not enough creatures. I think I'm just going to start firing this off. Just kill all their first plays. We obviously don't want to trade because we need a creature to embrace. That's a fantastic hit. Okay. Let's go and attack in for 2. Hit them for 3 and take a peek at their hand. Biting Ninja's so good. Played around the counter. Wow, they have an invoke the wins too. All right, let's just take the invoke. Sure. Our hand is a bunch of reactive spells, so get them while they're tapped out here. Alright, still have counter available. We will definitely just attack for 4. Sure. And I'm certainly going to run out the construct here. If they want to counter this, we are more than happy to allow them to do so. Absolutely. Okay, they are holding open Spell Pierce, but that doesn't matter because we can pay the 2. And at this point, I think they've just given up. Good game. They're in blue-green, so we don't have to worry about running out another creature. Or in this case, 2 creatures. 3 creatures. Alright, easy enough. The value of being on the play. That was... not much to say, it was just a steamroll. Our cards lined up pretty fantastically versus them, given that we were on the play, so... Good beats. The opening hand wasn't good, but we drew very, very well. It sounds fine. Tournament Okiba Raid is our best. We have 1 removal spell that's early enough and can lock down anything. And then we have the Imperial Oath, which is... Don't sleep on Imperial Oath. This card has been an all-star. Ooh, mirror match. Black-white. Oh man, if they have a ninjutsu card here to buy back their companion, we're going to be really sad. Imperial Subduer, sure. Where were you last turn, dog friend? I think we are going to arrest the Subduer here. So its ability is a triggered ability. So if they play another Samurai or Warrior, they're still going to get the tap down. But for the next couple turns, I'm planning on curving out. And that would just be hitting me for 3, right? Like if I didn't arrest, I'd play the dog. They'd attack with a Subduer. They'd tap down my Captain, hit me for 3. Next turn I play Seven Tail Mentor, pump up my Menace Creature, attack for 3. They tap down the Mentor, get me in for 3. So this arrest is buying at least 6 life. And we just have so much removal in the deck, I didn't mind using it like that. Mukatai Ambusher. Okay. I think I'm going to make the Mentor itself a 3/4, so it's a good blocker. On the Ambusher. What is your game plan, friend? Golden Tail Disciple. We like seeing cards like that. Alright, just a bunch of irrelevant creatures. Seems good to me. Let's go and play out our dog. We're looking for a 6 land for next turn. 1 drop was not bad. Let's just hold up Intervention. And we're just going to pass. Alright, they have access to double black now, which they didn't have earlier, so we could see a Twisted Embrace in our future. Assassin's Ink. That we don't really mind. They're going to pump up their lifelinker, and then we're just going to shoot it with the Intervention. Be surprised if they didn't attack with their Ink Rise as well for some reason. Wonder what the use is of holding back the 1/2 there. Yeah, we have some good attacks now. Just attacking with the 3/4 here. Okay, and then we're just going to pass. Plan is to Intervention there, Disciple, when that gains flying this turn. I don't think Intervention's a card that you should just hold for something quote-unquote better, right? You're only ever going to be able to kill a creature that has 4 toughness. The Arrest maybe was a little bit aggressive, but like I said, we have so much removal in this deck, I didn't mind doing that. Alright, both lifelinkers down. We'll have to deal with the 2/4 eventually, but for now we're sitting pretty good. And what we get to do here is attack with all 3, actually. Because we have the Prowler that we held on to from last turn, even if their Inkrise Infiltrator blocks the dog, one of our creatures is going to go unblocked. Save the Twisted Embrace at this point. No need to kill one of those randos. Alright, they're going to main phase pump, sure. Okay. Well, they're going to get extremely punished here. Because their creature didn't even trade with mine. Now we get to buy back another card. At this point, the only card that's really going to get us is, like, Farewell. I guess I could have held a land in case they play Virus Beetle or another discard effect here, but should be pretty easy from here on out. Yeah, and that'll be just fine. Alright, so let's suit up one of our menace creatures. Kill the 5/5 and just smash. And they've seen enough. They weren't technically dead on board, but they were. Might as well have been. 2-0. Nice little start here. So this is one of the sealed pools that I would love to have for the Arena Open. It's just got really good removal, really good creature quality, 2 colors, so you don't really have to worry about the mana. Just straightforward, good deck. Like I said, it looks like a draft deck. Sure, double raid makes both of my samurai, or not both of my samurai, but my Sky Blessed Samurai cost less. I have 3 of them. It'd be pretty funny if I drew the 3rd one next turn. Go turn 1 raid, turn 2 double raid. Papercraft Decoy is fine. My 4/4 flyer already down to 5 mana. Ooh, Norica. That's a good one. Naya from the OP. Persona. Very nice. And they're going to smash in. We are going to do the old no blocks. Take 8. Go to 14. Don't really mind it getting an indestructible counter, because our plan here is now to attack for 2. Take away the indestructible counter. And then suit up. And kill it. Seismic wave, sure. Not sure why they did that main phase. Now I know I don't need to block. Don't think we're trading here. Reason is we want to keep our samurai cheap. I will not attack this turn though. It's a little bit aggressive. If I attack and then they kill my samurai, can't block. Alright, no blocks. I'm gonna go to 5. Really want to draw another white source there. I think what I'm gonna do here is put them on a 2-turn clock now. We have double intervention, so feeling pretty good. Oh, yikes. Sure. Well, they need another trick here. Hope they don't have it. And if they don't, they're just dead on board. And they're still dead to the slash now. Perfect. Well, dead to either of these plays. Doesn't matter which one I do. You need to know when to hold them and when to fold them, so trading there was not ideal for us. We had just way too much removal, so trading off for our creatures was actually just bad. We wanted to be able to use the removal to trade for their creatures and then keep our creatures to, well, like we did, race them. Easy peasy baby. Ugh. But yeah, this deck's great. This might be the most, like, compare this to yesterday's video, if you watched yesterday's, where we were blue-green and we had, like, 2 removal spells. Here we're black-white with, like, 8 removal spells. 2 interventions, slash, 2 Twisted Embraces, Assassin's Ink, that's already 6. I think I have the Steward to Tutor for an Embrace, so that's 7. I'm sure I have something else. Oh, I have Life of Toshiro, don't I? Yeah, Life of Toshiro is effectively removable. Arrest, yeah, this deck has like 10 pieces of removal. This deck, or this hand rather, is a little bit sketchy on the draw, but I think it's fine. As long as they don't just go like 1 drop, 2 drop, we'll be able to arrest their first play without taking too much damage, ideally. Worst draw for us would just be our second Embrace. I guess technically I'm supposed to lead with Plains in case I draw Banishing Slash and they have a 2-drop I want to deal with. Okay, we got a nice little warrior deck here. They did not discard a card, though. I'm going to put them to the test. If they don't have a removal spell here, they're going to be really, really tempted to leave creatures back to block this. Because I don't think just playing out the Arrest on one of those does all that much. Arrest is actually really bad on the Warriors, since they have all of those triggered abilities and not activated. Well, if they do have removal, they have a really hard decision, it looks like. That's a nice card. Not sure why they played their land out first, because I assume they're attacking here, but maybe they're not. Maybe they want to hold back both creatures because they're scared. Like I said, the Biting Palm Ninja, you never really want that to hit you, because it's just immediately free. Oh, okay, maybe they oops because they didn't mean to play a land first. No attacks. I mean, I think I'm going to go for it then. They don't have a Kami Flare is my guess. That or they baited me and they're going to get paid off huge. Excellent. Alright, what you got in there, friend? Voltage Surge and a Fall of Lord Kanda. Neither of those are particularly troublesome. I guess we're going to take the Surge, because if they draw an artifact, they'd be able to deal with my ninja. The Fall of Lord Kanda does not deal with a ninja here. Ooh, they top deck a Ryu, and that's pretty strong. Fantastic. And they hit a mountain and a Voltage Surge. Oh, the Voltage Surge doesn't do anything, but they get a free mountain play. Samurai's a good draw. Let's go ahead and companion here, draw a card. Attack and see if they randomly double block for some reason. And we'll just immediately get rid of that thing. Now, they still get a lot of value here. They get a trigger from the Temper, they can rummage if they want to pitch something bad. Yeah, they get to play a 4/4 post-combat. Like, the opponent is not doing bad. They're not doing good. But they are drawing multiple cards a turn, in essence. I think I'm only going to attack for 4 here. And that way I can double block their Ronin next turn. Okay, well, that's a good draw. They can pump up their Ronin and smash through now. Sure. Ooh, they hit a sniper. Can't cast that one, thankfully. Alright, they did finally get rid of their Fall of Khanda, though. Ogre? Wow. Their deck looks pretty solid. Go ahead and smash here. If they double block, I can give Indestructible off the Selfless Samurai. Sure. Trading 2/2s in essence. I could have played the 7-tail Mentor to make their double block terrible, but we want to just go tutor for our other Twisted Embrace before we draw it, so... Okay. Mountain. They're gonna rummage something away, maybe. They like what's in their hand already. I mean, I could just go for lethal here. Sure, why not? Alright. There are a few things they could have there, like Flame Discharge or Repel the Vial. But... yeah. I wasn't in a play around it mood. Like, if they draw one of those cards, or rather, if I don't go for it, we're just giving them more time to rummage something away. You know, get another trigger of the temper. They were actually starting to stabilize there a little bit. But yeah, Biting Palm Ninja just... brutal. All right. How are we looking on the draw? Good enough. Only one piece of removal, but a couple of early plays. That feeling when a Fox Samurai and a Rat Ninja team up. Green and Iron Apprentice. Ooh, drew one of our... we have 3 of these, right? Yeah. Alright, good little curve out here. Green Black Iron Apprentice. I feel like there are probably not enough synergies in Green Black for Iron Apprentice to really be something that you want. But who knows, maybe they have like 5 lethal exploits and they just need creatures that have modify. Let's put it this way, in Sealed, and especially for the Arena Open, the only time I would run an Iron Apprentice is if I have like a red-black super aggro deck with like 3 Voltage Surges. Reckoner Shakedown. I think that card's a little bit too slow to be good in Limited, but it's like borderline playable. It's like fine. Alright, let's attack for 2 lifelink. Like, it's not technically a dead draw if your opponent has no hand, right? Because as long as you have a creature, you can pump up a creature. And in fact, it would have been really good on their Iron Apprentice, making it a 3/3. Don't really care if they trade their bearer for my samurai. We do enjoy this though. We're about to gain 5 life and rebuy our Reckoner raid, so I guess we're gonna gain 6 life. Like, look at the life totals already. They're gonna be at 8, I'm gonna be at 28. And we still have 1 more drain from the new Reckoner raid about to happen. Jukai Preserver, that's a good one. Yeah, I mean... can't really attack very well anymore. So I guess you could say they're stabilizing, and we know they have nothing but spells in their hands since they have been missing land drops the last couple of turns. Right, I think they were on the play. So they have 4 spells in their hand. It's terrifying. We are, especially if they pass here, going to be able to all-out attack. Not this turn, but the following turn. We're going to have 2 menace creatures. And we're about to make 3 more 2/2s, and we're probably going to scry at least 1 removal spell to the top. Haven't seen any of our Twisted Embraces or anything. Okay. Naomi's only keepable here because we have the Nezumi Prowler, which is an artifact. I would not have topped Naomi if we didn't have both. Oh, okay, that keeps them alive. They go back up to 10. Actually, that's pretty awkward, unfortunately, because now they can make their Ambusher a... oh, no, they can't. They have to trade away the Ambusher, don't they? Never mind. I was going to say, they can not block with the Ambusher and keep it a... or make it a 5-power lifelinker with the Apprentice dying, but they have to block with it this turn. We played the Naomi pre-combat because if we don't and they trade with our Prowler, we don't get the 2/2. Alright, so now we can use the Samurai to save the 3/1 since the Samurais are going to die anyways. If they have the -2/-2 to all creatures card, they can survive here. And in fact, they'd be winning by a lot if they did. But given that they missed a land drop, they just played a land this turn. Unlikely that they drew it. And once again, we are just going to attack with everything here. They can give their Preserver lifelink if they have the +1/+0 card. They would go back up to 10, and then if they have like a Master's Rebuke, so they could live here. It would require a few specific cards, but okay, step 1. Nope, not enough. They needed that plus 1 more spell. But yeah, if they had that plus the Master's Rebuke, they get to punch my 3/1, gain another 6. Could have maybe seen a line for them to stabilize, but again, very specific cards. All right, hey, we finally drew our Life of Toshiro. This pack, or not this pack, this hand looks pretty good. Needs to find a couple of lands, but if it does, it's going to be hard to beat this curve out on the play. Go for the raid turn 1, construct turn 2. Dun, dun, dun. There's one of our lands that we're looking for. Beautiful. And remember, the construct is just in this deck as an artifact for Naomi and for Banishing Slash. Oh, is that a cute little 1/1 for me? Don't mind if I do. And now next turn we can just use the life to pump up our creature by 2, because it'd be very, very suspect if they played out a 1 toughness creature for some reason this turn. We're gonna pump the construct, because I'd rather them kill the construct than the road captain. Yep. And we are gonna bite their palm. What you got in there, friend? Friending the Moths and a favor of Jukai, so their hand sucks. They do have an Iganjo, though. Ah, Black Shrine. Nice. Alright, let's just push. Arresting the Shrine is not great, because, again, that is a triggered ability, but, well, I'm not going to have any creatures that the Shrine kills for a while, most likely. I think I'm going to wait 1 turn to attack. I think attacking with just the memory is, like, fine if you want to, but remember, we know they have the Iganjo in their hand, so if we just tax their mana, it's going to be really hard for them to do anything or come back from this. Okay, now it's an easy all-out attack. I can go ahead and Iganjo my Biting Palm Ninja, but they'll take 4, and then we're going to play Reckoner Raid, put them to 5. Twisted Embrace, their next creature play, and that should be that. So you want to target the Mender here, because if they did draw a removal spell... Oh wait, this is a swamp, not a mountain. Anyway, if they did draw a removal spell, then they kill the Mender and we get to draw a card. Alright, shake my hand. GG's. Ooh, baby! What a steamrolling. 6-0? Yeah, I mean, again, I don't expect anything less from this deck. It's just way too good for a sealed deck. It's just too consistent, too straight line. Does not look like a sealed deck. Final boss time. I've actually been crushing these sealeds. I mean, I know the competition is all over the place because at least for ranked drafts, you play against people that are similarly ranked for the most part. Sealed, you can just play against anybody. And that's the thing. I've been saying this for the last couple days on these videos. You will play a variety of opponents if you are going to play in the Arena Open. You can play, you know, your average Joe. Or you could play somebody that just picked up the game a couple days ago. That, I guess that's unlikely, but, you know, a newer player. Or you could play against pros, like. But that should not... None of that should matter, you know, you should always just play your best. Yeah, we've been doing a stomping here. Yeah, looking at my sealed record, 7-2, 6-3, 7-0, 7-2, 7-1, and now we're currently 6-0. So thus far, only one sealed that I haven't gotten max win with. Our record is 40 wins and 8 losses. Another Iron Apprentice. They do have swamps, though. So again, if they are running a red-black aggro deck, maybe there's a world where that's okay. But I would... Oh! Maybe they have ninjas and they really needed 1-drops. Okay. And we have drawn some lands. Uh-oh. If we start flooding out, we could definitely lose this game. If we draw Life of Toshiro next turn, we cannot lose the game. That is not a Life of Toshiro. I don't think this is worth running out, because they just have the Iron Apprentice to block it. 2 cards left in their hand. I mean, we might see like a Dokuchi here. Take 4, or take 5. They didn't ninjutsu last turn off of Circuit Mender, so... That's fine, we don't really care about that. They will get to cast a free 1/1 flyer, but whatever. If we just draw removal, it's going to be very hard to lose this game, because all of their cards are not super impressive. I'm going to let them hit me one more time, though, I think. And versus blue-black, I'm going to put the 1/1 counter on itself. Because this is a samurai, so it can get the trigger of the selfless samurai. But I really just don't want to use Twisted Embrace on their network disruptor. Okay. No enchantments, and they're hellbent. Man, I just really don't want to kill that thing. I think what we're going to do here is play the Prowler, give our Menace creature to lifelink and Death Touch, and just attack with this. It's fine by me. So I get to kill both their creatures. They do get a 1/1 counter and a card draw. But, I mean, seems worth it. That's a good one. We have Arrest, and we have 2 Twisted Embrace. Oh, I guess one of the Embraces in our hand. We're going to grab a Arrest here, because it's just safer. Right? If they do have an interactive spell and I go for Embrace, they can 2-for-1 me. I will say, though, their 4 toughness creatures are kind of a pain. 3 cards in hand, not playing anything. That's a good draw. We're going to lead off with this, though. Making a bunch of 2/2s doesn't do anything versus 3/4s. Oh, I guess the auto tapper kind of got me there. I could have played Twist Embrace if I wanted. Aha, that's gonna shoot my Selfless Samurai. Or not. Okay. Let's find some action. And none of that is action, so we're gonna bottom it all. Looks like this is just going to be another swarm game, especially if they don't play another creature to crew the mech next turn. Then I think what we're going to do is suit up our creature, embrace their Kami, and right-click attack all. Oh. Yeah, no, I still think we put this on the Shrine Steward. I guess they can't really blow me out unless they have a bounce or a flicker type thing, because we have the Selfless Samurai. Well, -2/-2 gets me. Maybe that was a reason to not put it on the Steward, because if they have Lethal Exploit, I get kind of ruined. Okay. People like this card. I don't think it's particularly good. Yeah, I mean... It's... playable? Generally, I don't think it's very good. Oh, this is a deal. They're gonna sack their Disruptor, but I get to sack my Circuit Mender. We both get a little bit of value there. Are they gonna attack? Oh, wow. That is aggressive, and I love it. Yeah, I'm okay. I'll triple block. I don't think they have anything. And if they do, remember, the Oath was just a single card for 3 2/2s anyways. We're still losing this game, sadly. In fact, you know what? Now that I think about it, I probably shouldn't even blocked at all. Because if I don't block, I get to swing out for much more damage. They can block like my 3/2, but I hit them for, what, 11? Yeah. Trading here was bad. I regret this. It's not a bad deal, but it was so much better for me to push damage. What is going on here? I'm a little bit worried we might have disconnected or something, but no, they were just ordering blockers. Okay. Oh, they were thinking I wouldn't block. Silly, silly. Dang it. That would have been good if they had a card in their hand still. Do I even have a good attack? Not anymore, not with them playing the hacker. So I guess we'll just hand dump. 3/3 Menace is still pretty good here. And as soon as I draw one more removal, which, let's see, I've used 2 removal spells right now. Yeah, once I draw one more of my, like, 10 pieces of removal, we can probably just attack all willy-nilly. I can almost attack all willy-nilly right now, but... I need to wait a couple turns. Did they draw a ninja? That's Sucks if they did. Nothing I can do about it, though. Sure. Well, If they don't have a creature in their hand, they can't actually kill any of my creatures. Okay. So I guess they just got in with a 2-1 and then rebuy their Modern Age for value. If we draw a removal spell this turn, we get to swing out. We might still be able to swing out. Two 4 blocks there. I mean, they get to make two decent blocks. But we push in for a lot of damage. And I have a 4/4 flyer. We probably get to eat whatever. Oh, they're gonna double block my Biting Palm? Okay, so they're gonna take how much? 10 or 9? This I'm okay with. That was a great deal. I don't think it was worth saving my Biting Palm with the Selfless Samurai there, because the 4/4 flyer is just a little bit more relevant now. So we traded a 3/2 for a 2/1. That was probably inevitable. And then we traded our 3/3 Menace for 9 points of damage. Good deal. So whatever they kept was better than a Debt to the Kami. Looks like it was targeted removal. That is a problem card. Okay. Oh, that is a problem. While they don't have red mana to really make that... What the heck? They're attacking with the Hidetsugu? Okay, I'm not gonna block because their flyer's already unblocked anyways. This has to block there. They're dead here. I'm gonna go for it. They have one card in their hand. I'm not a coward. If I give them more time, they're gonna win anyways because I hit it Sugu. I think they just forgot about my road captains having Menace and left themselves dead on board. Phew! So that was a little bit lucky there, because I think they were probably well... No, they have the 2/2 and the 2/3, right? Couldn't they have double blocked my flyer? I'm so confused. Doesn't matter, we got the 7-0. And yeah, like I said, this is probably the best deck I've had so far in any of these sealed videos I've made. This deck was just way, way too streamlined. It looks like a draft deck. Yeah, the quality was just absurd. Look at the removal. Ink, 2 Embraces, the mech, I don't even know if I drew that, maybe once. Arrest, 2 Interventions, Slash, Life of Toshiro's removal, Biting Palm is effectively removal, and then the creature quality very, very high as well. So, good build, good deck. And yeah, like, we open Tezzeret and Reality Chip and we're not playing them. Sometimes that's what you need to do. Sometimes your best cards are not playable because you just have a better deck. So you have to keep your options open and make sure, you know, you're not missing something, overlooking something pretty obvious, or maybe not obvious, but you're not overlooking something that could be there. So anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Yeah, and good luck in the open. We'll see you back tomorrow.